Welcome to Sehat ki Baat, Doctor ke Saath, the show where we simplify health in one conversation at a time. Today, we are diving into a growing concern for every parent: poor eyesight in children. With screens all around and books in hand, why are more kids ending up with glasses at such a young age? To help us understand this better, we are joined once again by Dr. Jay Goyal, one
Hi.
of Mumbai's most respected eye surgeons. This is our second conversation with Dr. Goyal, and we're thrilled to have him back to shed light quite literally on your child's eye health. And I would strongly encourage you to bring your kids, let them sit with you and watch this episode because there's going to be actionable tips for both yourselves and your kids. So, uh, इस बार सेहत की बात डॉक्टर के साथ और बच्चों के साथ. So, welcome to the episode, Dr. Goyal.
Thank you very much.
So, Dr. Goyal, let's start with key. How early are you seeing eyesight issues appear in children today compared to 10 years ago, 20 years ago? How early is it for kids complaining of eyesight issues or coming to see you?
So I'll tell you, it has got to do with two things. First and foremost, it is about say about 15, 20 years back, parents didn't have the kind of uh, information that they have now. So,
Mhm.
usually we would get patients about 15 years back saying, हाँ वो स्कूल से फोन आया था उसको कुछ दिखाई नहीं देता इसलिए हम उसको यहाँ पे लेके आ गए तो क्या है
Right.
आप And now, fortunately, we have parents who are coming to us saying, "Oh, I wear glasses. Maybe my son or daughter has glasses. Can you please do a checkup and find out?" So
Okay.
that ways things have moved massively, and there's a huge uh, the kind of things that people know has hugely been in favor of kids. That kids we know at a much younger age as to if the kid has glasses, and in terms of his school performance or quality of life or whatever, there's a massive difference that we have seen.
Okay.
Also, the downside is that because there are a lot of, I mean, not a lot of kids, every human being in the world is now on the screen. We
Mhm.
are seeing dry eye in kids as young as 1.5 year, 1 year also.
Oh.
I mean, it's a very sad thing that I know it is not their fault, but most parents, most nannies, most people would just give a kid a phone and while feeding him or asking him to keep busy because they are busy. And
Correct.
once the kid is hooked on to that, and most of these channels, I don't want to name, but these channels use bright light, they use bright shade, this and that, to keep the kids hooked.
Mhm.
Now, once the kid is hooked, he will constantly demand it and he will get a ruckus if you have not given him that phone or
Mhm.
that screen. Now, because of that, kids are probably seeing screens for more than 2, 3, 4 hours a day. And these kids come back to us, with the moms say that, his eyes are red and his eyes are itchy and he keeps doing this the whole time and his eyes water. So we are
Mhm.
seeing dryness in kids as young as 1 year also. So it is a pro and a con both.
So, you mentioned genetics, right? You mentioned parents have glasses, so kids are also, they are concerned whether their kids will have glasses,
Correct.
or lifestyle related issues, like you mentioned, खाना खाते वक्त भी screen चाहिए,
Yes.
right? गाड़ी में बैठे हुए हैं, बोर हो रहे हैं तो screen चाहिए.
Actually, and
तो
it's become such a fad now to have those mobile holders on the car seats, and kids are glued to the screen the whole time, which is crazy.
so they are like they're so engrossed in their screens that the moment they look outside of the screen, they're like, अब मैं bore हो रहा हूँ, now I'm getting bored. So अगर if you take away the screen now, then they start complaining you're getting bored, and then
Correct.
the parent has to give the screen back कि भाई ये ले, so that we have gone into that catch 22, which is becoming very difficult for parents to break.
Correct. And it is also, I mean, I'm sure our parents weren't as busy as we are. I mean,
Hmm.
we are probably trying to achieve more and trying to run a lot more or manage maybe more things as compared to them.
Hmm.
So they probably had a lot more time than we did for our kids.
Actually, there is also a difference. You'll find this very interesting. In our last episode of the Indian Community podcast, we were speaking to Master Manjunath.
Okay.
He was the actor of who did the role of Swami in Malgudi Days.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So, his episode is going to come out very soon, on the podcast. And he mentioned one very interesting thing, which was there was only one TV channel during back in our days, right? When we were growing up, there was one TV channel. Once in a week, Malgudi Days episode is going to come. So, and then, Baki ka time, there will be other things. But, every episode or every TV show was only once in a week, once. Correct.
Wouldn't
So,
believe. Go on, go on. Sorry.
now we are exposed to so much of content, so much of material. So there's wider variety. So I don't know if it is whether our parents were busier or we are busier, or whether it is the availability of
I
content.
did too. I was just out with a few friends last week and we were just discussing in general about the war and this and that. And I told them, do you remember the days when there was DD News at 9 p.m.? We used to wait the whole day to know what's going on in the world.
Correct.
And now these people have no news. They just try to sensationalize and create new news now because people in 1 second know what is happening. So the world has changed a lot.
So that's, yeah, I think it's the amount of content that's available to our kids nowadays is dramatically different from what we were exposed to. हमने
Correct.
हमारा हफ्ते में एक बार मोगली आता था, जंगल बुक आएगा, तो you'll wait for the whole week on to watch that episode on Sunday morning.
No, and it is also what your friends, the cousins. I mean, so it is not the kids' fault also because I have tried to tell parents, okay, maybe you should let your kid down to play this and that. नहीं वो different boards है, there's IB board, CBSE board, कभी किसी का छुट्टी है, कभी छुट्टी नहीं है, कभी somebody has classes so they won't come down, his friends won't come down. I mean,
Hmm.
it's just too much of a, there's too much going on for the kids also now to understand as to what they for them just watching TV and being at home is the easiest thing to do.
Correct, correct, correct. So tell me, what age should parents take their child for their first eye checkup? Even if there are no visible problems, sometimes maybe the kid has not even expressed that I'm facing this issue, right?
Correct.
And But what age would you recommend that somebody brings their child over for a
Age,
regular health checkup?
the correct age is when the child is just about to enter school.
Okay,
That's about 2.5, 2.5, 3 is a very good age where
okay,
you at least do a basic assessment how well the child is seeing.
okay.
Now the eye normally grows till the age of say about 6 or 7. So
Hmm.
even if the child has a number at 2 or 3, we may or may not give it. But
Hmm.
at least we know that there is nothing grossly wrong with that child.
Hmm.
Because I have had some kids, age of 5 and power of -6, and I'm wondering why these parents haven't come to me before.
Hmm.
And the unfortunate part is, like you and me, by God's grace, we have normal vision, so
Hmm.
we know that this is how the world is supposed to look. But because the child has always seen blur, he assumes that this is how everybody else sees the world.
Oh.
So he never expresses or complains to his parents that, I cannot see. Only when he
Hmm.
goes to school and he realizes, okay, the kids with me can see and I cannot see, that is when he realizes, okay, maybe there's something wrong.
Correct.
So the school going age is a very good age where at least we can do a basic checkup to find out whether the child's eye is grossly normal or not. and from then onwards, every 12 to 18 months is a good time, because child eye is growing. He may have a number, he may not have a number. Those things must be assessed at least in a year, or year and a half times.
And what are the typical signs that parents will miss uh, when their child is struggling with the eye problems?
So the first thing is that the child will probably try to squeeze his eyes, or look look like that.
Hmm.
Secondly, very common, the child will try to reduce the distance between the TV and him,
Okay.
because he cannot see from a distance. He tries to go more close and close to the TV. Third is, he'll probably fall back in his academics, or his, he will not be able to read the board well, or he will not be able to copy from the board well, or he will not be able to see well, so he will not know what is being shown in class. Fourth thing also is that there are some kids, who just try to go very close to read the book.
Hmm.
These are few signs that parents should look out for. Also, I have seen parents coming to me at random saying, okay, I was just driving and I saw a board, and I'm like, wow, good ad. And I asked my kid, better look at that, and he said, no, it is not very clear, though that is just by chance, but so these are few times, where the parents will know, okay, this is where the kid is not seeing. You would not believe, at Bandra school, we did a screening for about 700 kids
Hmm.
between the classes 1 to 10th.
Okay.
Now, kids in 7th standard who are like 12, 13 plus, okay, out of maybe 100%, maybe there were about 70 kids. Out of 100% kids, 30% kids had a class number of more than -2, and they had no idea that they have classes.
Oh my God.
No idea. When we asked them to read, they asked us, sir, वो दिखना चाहिए क्या? I'm like,
Mm.
yes, beta, that is normal.
Mm.
नहीं, I can't see it. I'm like,
God.
okay. So have you got your eyes checked ever?
Mm.
No, we don't know that we are supposed to see it. I'm like, okay. So those are things.
That's, yeah, I think that discipline of annual eye checkup is something which is very critical, especially in those formation ages, right? When their eyes are developing, when they are developing, and it's also very important for them to have their vision at their best.
We are actually trying to think of coming up with a campaign saying your eyes work 365 days a year. You should give them hour in a year for an eye checkup. That is, you know.
Yeah, if you are able to do it in 36 minutes, then you can say, 36.5 minutes. give give 1% of, or
Of the year.
0.1%. So, okay, so we have complained about kids falling into this trap of having poor eye vision. Let us understand what causes it. What So one is genetics. You can't help with that. That's something you inherit. But then there are lifestyle based problems. So what are the core typical, and this I am expecting the kids to pay attention. These are lifestyle causes, so these can be rectified, right?
Absolutely.
These are habits that we can fix. So what, according to you, doctor, are the lifestyle issues that kids, you know knowingly unknowingly fall into, which then leads to vision problems?
The most important crucial thing is lack of outdoor activity, meaning lack of sunlight.
Hmm.
So, when we were kids, हम लोग धूप में पूरा दिन we used to play the whole day.
Correct.
Now I don't know kids who have even seen sunlight. So I actively tell kids that between 9 a.m. to 5 or 6 p.m., you need to spend at least 1 hour a day or 6 hours a week in
Mhm.
sunlight, maybe cycling, playing football, playing cricket, playing kabaddi, playing coco, whatever. But
Mhm.
you need to spend that 6 hours in a week in sunlight to ensure that your eyes. So there is a study which has proved a direct relation between sunlight and myopia.
Mhm.
Kids who spend more time outdoors in light had lesser chance of getting a higher number as compared to kids who stayed indoors all the time.
Correct.
That is one thing. Second thing is screens. Now, trust me, as a doctor, I am okay with a child watching TV. I mean, he is at home, he has to entertain himself in some way.
Mhm.
I am not okay with a child doing this the whole time. Because what happens is, if you do a lot of near work for a very long time, your eye
Mhm.
muscles go into spasm, and that is what causes a number to progress.
Correct.
So even if you are seeing screens, it is very important to take a 5 minutes break every half an hour, every 45 minutes, to change that focal length. And trust me, kids are not supposed to be on the screen for more than hour and a half a day.
Mhm.
I mean, whatever they're watching on the mobile, whether it is a YouTube video or anything, can be easily watched on a TV at a distance also.
Correct. Correct.
So parents should not give kids small screens.
Got it.
They
But
should.
if you see the way some of these products are even marketed, like the iPad or those tablets, right? So they are marketed, or they are safe for the eye, and they have these this kind of technology and all of that. Is that really true?
No,
Okay, so it is the distance which is also causing
it is not a problem with the iPad, it's a problem with the distance.
distance.
Meaning, if a child is even reading a book and reading a
Hmm.
book at this distance, he will have a number progression.
Got it.
So the problem is not the iPad or the mobile, the problem is the distance.
Got it.
So if a kid is at a distance of a laptop or a tab or a phone for more than 1.5 hour a day, he definitely is at a risk of having a number.
Okay. So then, doctor, what simple habits can parents, you know, promote to protect their child's eyesight?
Very good question. I would like to give out about 5 6 tips.
Okay.
First tip is, like I told you, get a checkup to find out whether your kid actually has a glass or not.
Okay.
Secondly, make sure that he is doing some outdoor activity for at least 1 hour a day or 4 to 6 hours a week. And by outdoor, I mean sunlight, not in a shed, not in something. The eye should be in the sun.
Mm-hmm.
Now, whether he wants to cycle, play cricket, play football, do whatever he wants, I have no problem. But he needs to have some outdoor exposure in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Third is, if a kid is on the screen, please restrict that to maximum 1.5 hour a day, and that too with plenty of breaks.
Mm-hmm.
Fourth, there are some kids who love reading, who love drawing, who love painting. I'm absolutely fine with that, but they have to maintain a distance. So if you know, there's a long scale which is about 30 centimeters,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
long scale.
Mm-hmm.
The distance between the book or the drawing sheet or whatever and the eye should be a minimum of 40 centimeters. So we say it as one long scale distance.
Got it.
That is point number 3. Point number 4 is diet. Kids who have a lot of sugary foods,
Mm-hmm.
kids who are slightly overweight, are known to have a high glass number.
Mm.
I'm okay with junk food, but I'm fine with that in a week once or twice. It is very important for kids to have good, healthy food, to have vegetables, to have fruits. So I'm the kind of guy who will tell you have carrots, have 2 kg carrots and all those things. No, but eye is a part of the body. If your body is healthy, your eyes automatically will be. And
Hmm.
kids in the growing age need nutritious food.
Correct.
They need vegetables, they need fruits, they need dal, they need rice. They need food that is actually going to help them grow in the right way.
So, you know, if I have to summarize, you're essentially saying do regular checkups, play outside for an hour, regulate your screen time, have a healthy, nutritious diet, and if you are watching something that a 40 centimeter kind of a distance is appropriate. So okay, I think these are fairly easy to do activities, right? In that
Very
sense,
easy, very easy.
yeah.
I mean, I'll tell you, half of the problems that are happening in our society right now are because of our lifestyle, whether it is diabetes or it is hypertension. So this also, the myopia that we are seeing in kids is also, I mean, yes, it is genetic to a large extent, but there are many kids who are number minus five. Their parents have never had glasses ever in their life.
Hmm. And
That
are
is,
there any exercises these kids can do for the eye? Is there, because in the internet is flooded with these influencer slash uh, wannabes who will say, close your eyes, do this, do that, and then parents will think that this is a secret hack. So what does medical science have to say about that?
you have to understand one thing. A glass number is a irreversible process, meaning
Hmm.
if your number is -3, let's assume,
Hmm.
whatever you do, exercises and whatever, they can help in preventing the progression of the number. Meaning -3 का -5 नहीं होगा,
Hmm.
-3 का 2.5 हो सकता है, बट -3 का कभी जीरो नहीं होगा.
Hmm.
दैट एक्सपेक्टेशन इज इम्पॉसिबल, वो जिंदगी में नहीं होगा.
Hmm.
So what we as doctors are working towards is to ensure that the -3 doesn't become -5, -6, it remains at -3 only.
Correct.
So if lifestyle changes are made now, then at least the child can be prevented from progressing further. That is what our medical science is based on now.
So, doctor, there's also this concept of blue light blocking glasses, very, very popular, trending, product. You go to any store, they'll be selling those. Are they any useful blue light blocking glasses?
Uh, it's a yes and a no. I mean, there are many people who swear by it. There are many people who find them useless. So blue light, essentially, how it works is, it just blocks a spectrum of blue light that goes into your eye. Now, blue light is required for the circadian rhythm. If we have this sleep cycle. So if you are wearing blue light glasses the whole day, whole night, that you can definitely have a disturbance in your circadian rhythm also. So I am neutral on those. If you feel, no, my screen is too bright, I cannot manage, my eyes constantly watering in spite of whatever you have done. So if you're so let me just take a minute here. If you are on the screen 8 hours a day,
Hmm.
a blue light glass is not going to help you reduce your irritation, redness, watering. It will probably reduce it by 10%.
Hmm.
What will actually reduce it is first to find out why your eye is watering. Maybe it is too much screen time, maybe it is dry eye, maybe it is lack of sleep, maybe it is not taking breaks.
Hmm.
So people think, okay, मेरी eyes water हो रही है, मैंने specs पहन लिया, I am fine with that. That is not the way it works. So yes, it can help a certain percentage of patients whose eyes are very sensitive to light.
Hmm.
So there are those patients who can benefit, but it is not for everybody. It is for those specific use case scenarios only. And even if you're wearing it wear it only when you are on the screen, maybe for 6 5 6 hours a day, not beyond that, because wearing it whole day whole night will definitely may cause sleep issues also.
Doctor, there's one tradition that people have followed in India for a long time, and I have always looked at it and I've wondered whether it is the right thing to do or not. I'm talking about the kajal that parents will apply around the eye. चलो नजर का टीका जो गाल पे लगाया वो उसका तो चलो it doesn't affect the eye in that sense, but then there's a lot of kajal also that people apply for kids. What is your opinion on that?
I'll tell you something more shocking. I've just saw something 3 4 weeks back. Sephora had launched a special store for kids, selling makeup to kids.
Oh.
Yeah, and I mean it. Please don't quote me. It may not be true, but there was a news that there were some kids who wanted a fairness cream from there.
Hmm.
I'm like, what kind of world are we living in? Why does a girl of 12 need to even go to shop for makeup? I mean, you know. So Joe, what you're talking of, the kajal that they put for kids, to be honest, I have never seen any kid come to me with a problem, because the moms usually are very careful. They
Hmm.
use things which are sterile and which are okay and stuff like that, and moms are pretty good at it. So I have not ever had, I mean, I live in probably city side. I haven't seen those kind of patients much, so it may not be right for me to comment. But usually these things don't cause an issue unless and until that kajal is dirty or not handled well, or stuff like that. So really not much of an issue.
Okay, that's good to know. I mean, it's a very tricky zone whether it's good for your eyes or bad for your eyes.
Just to pick on that point, I have seen young girls coming to me with eye infections because they've used their mom's kajal.
Hmm.
Mom had an eye infection maybe a few days earlier, and then they use that and they also have it. So common cosmetics, common eye makeups can definitely lead to uh, viral conjunctivitis and all those things for sure. So we recommend that every patient should have his own kit. It should
Hmm.
not be shared as much as they can.
That's true. And rose water. I have seen a lot of people apply rose water inside the eye as an eye drop. Is that even a healthy practice?
As long as the rose water is sterilized, I mean, if it is certified to be sterilized, there is nothing wrong with that. But the
Mhm.
problem is that there is no certification that is there on the bottle. Like,
Correct.
if you're using an eye drop today, you are sure that the bottle is sterilized, the content inside is sterilized.
Correct.
So if the rose water is sterilized, it is okay. If it is not, it can be a cause of an eye infection.
Got it. Got it. So, doctor, finally, now let's say kids have got this I number -3, -5, like you said. What is the solution? What happens after that? Do they get like a surgery, or they have to wait for some years to be eligible for surgery? What are the solutions for them?
First and foremost, it is very important to counsel the parents, because
Hmm.
parents are often, my kid has glasses. Oh, he's only 7 years. Doctor, how will he manage? How do I get rid of it? What do I do? So
Hmm.
first and foremost, the counseling is for the parents. That yes, it is possible for kids to have glasses. We
Hmm.
have kids as young as 6 months also who are wearing glasses. It's a common practice. And unfortunately, in the past 10 years, the number of kids wearing glasses has increased by threefold.
Correct.
Meaning, when you and me were, जब आप और मैं स्कूल में थे, maybe out of 10, one kid had glasses. and we used to call him a nerd. And now, out of 10, at least 4 kids are wearing glasses. So it is something that is very common and it is global. So the incidence of myopia globally has massively increased. So the first thing is the parent should know, okay, my kid has to wear glasses. There is no other choice. Second thing is that now we start to work on something called as a progressive myopia, meaning if the power is -3, the kid is 8.7, this number can become -6, -7 also by the time the kid is 18,
Mhm.
because his eye and his body is going to grow. With that growth, his number can increase. That is when we do a special test called as a myopia master test. Now
Mhm.
this uses AI to tell us how much the kid can progress over the next 10 years.
Okay.
And okay, this kid is -5 now, he can go up till -9 by the time he is 16 years old.
Mhm.
Then we reverse work on that. We first and foremost give the patient glasses. We ask him to do basic things like lifestyle changes and all those things which I asked you to. Then, in spite of that, if the child is like progressing, there are US FDA approved drops which the child can use.
Mhm.
There is US FDA approved special myopia glasses which the child can use.
Okay.
It's something called as ortho K. It's a
Mhm.
magic thing that the child wears a lens in the eye, sleeps for 6 hours, the lens is taken out, and full day he does not have to wear glasses at all.
Mm.
Yeah, it's magic. And all of these are US FDA approved procedures there in the worlds in the past 10 years. It is not experimentative, it is not new.
Mhm.
So our focus entirely to the child is 18 is to prevent his number from increasing and to stabilize his number. Now, why we do not do a surgery in a child is that because the human body usually grows till the age of 17. That is when most people will grow fully. Some
Mhm.
people grow up to 19, 20 also.
Mhm.
So we wait for that growth to happen and then offer a LASIK or a contact or a LASIK or an ICL or any other refractive procedure after that.
After that.
Meantime, the child can wear. I mean, if the child is a sportsman, he can wear contact lenses. The child can use the ortho K, or he can use glasses. So those things can be managed completely. That is not
Correct.
a challenge at all. We have kids, who are swimmers, who are shooters, who are gymnasts, with
Mhm.
or a -6, -7, and they perform wonderfully well. So
Correct.
class has never been a hindrance if a child wants to live that sort of life. We can easily manage all those things now. But we do not offer them a surgery before 18 or 20 because we
Mhm.
want the eye to grow fully.
Fully. Correct. Correct. Okay, that's good to know. And I learned something new about this Ortho K. I wasn't aware of this new technology.
And trust me, it is magic.
Definitely, we should
I'll
talk
tell
about that
you, I'll
sometime.
tell you, I had a kid, she's a gymnast.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, what happens is these kids cannot wear contact lenses also, because they are swinging here and there. So she
Mm.
had one time when the contact lens fell off her eye.
Oh my God.
It can happen. So for
Mhm.
these, the ortho K is like magic. She sleeps at 11 p.m. She sleeps from 11 to 6. So when she sleeps, her mom puts the lens into her eye. When she wakes up, mom removes the lens out. And the whole day, she has crystal clear vision without any problem whatsoever. So it is fab.
Interesting. Interesting work that you doctors do to make our lives simpler. So, thank you so much once again. Dr. Goyal, this was a fun conversation, and I hope the adults, the parents, and the kids who are watching it are able to inculcate these good practices in their lifestyle, so that they don't have to visit the doctor more often than once a year, right? I think that's the goal.
Correct.
Even you would have. And then of course, if you do find yourself on the other side where you have problems, then you shouldn't be worried about it. There are solutions available. And go and see a doctor, and make sure that you get yourself treated in time,
Correct.
right? So there are solutions, so don't be too worried about it. uh, that's not the end of the world, but you can prevent it. But if it still happens, go see a doctor. There are definitely solutions, like the one that you mentioned, ortho-k, which is a pretty interesting solution that we've come across today. So Dr. Goel, thank you once again for your time.
And I just want to make one last thing. We
Goel.
as doctors are not against screens or against anything. We are just wanting our patients to find that balance.
Hmm.
We all have to use screens. I mean, I am speaking to you right now via a screen. So
Correct.
it is just that we request kids. Yes, you have the right to have fun. You have the right to use screens, but just make sure that you find the balance. And playing outdoor is very, very, very important. That is something which parents should actively ask their kids to do.
Very true. Maybe a personal question: does indoor badminton count?
No, it doesn't. So
Sorry.
if you are playing badminton outdoor, perfect. Indoor,
Okay.
no. Sorry.
Indoor doesn't count. Okay. No, I'm talking with a vested interest of people who are living in the West, right? So you don't have a lot of outdoor games during the winter. No, no, during the winter I meant. So I'm talking about those winter and rainy days and stuff
No, but
like that.
you are fortunate. This myopia explosion right now is more in Southeast Asia and India. It has not reached the US yet.
Hmm.
But China, Singapore, India, Thailand are really bad.
Okay.
They are very bad.
Hopefully, once people start changing their lifestyle habits, there's more awareness, and more people watch this episode. Hopefully things will turn around, and things will get better. So Dr. Goyal, thank you once again for your time, giving us this time in a busy day. I know you were in the middle of surgery, so thank you so much for making time for us.
We actually love, we like to tell our patients what is right, what is wrong, because see, it is not just about treating it. If you can change somebody's life, that
Hmm.
is what gives you the ultimate happiness, and that is what we are working for. So
Love it. Thank you once again, and we hope to see you once again in the near
sure,
future.
sure, most welcome.
Thank you. Take
Thank
care.
you. Bye bye. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.